Hello and welcome to the Music Survival Guide, the independent musician's guide on how to survive in the music industry. My name's Phil, a mixing engineer. Hope you're doing wonderfully well out there in podcast land. Hope you've had a restful bank holiday if you're in the UK. I have, but unfortunately I've not planned my time very well. So I'm actually recording this, I'll let you in on this, the night before it goes out, which is not my normal way. So, better go well, better get it done. And then you can actually listen to it tomorrow. I wanted to talk about something, and it may trigger some of you, and it may sound like I'm being accusatory. I'm not, but I want to suggest to you, I want to put it to you that social media, promoting yourself on social media, has gone in a strange direction, especially on Instagram and on the associated video platforms where people tend to post Instagram-like stuff, where so many bands I know now are doing what everyone else is doing, and I think it's rubbish. So I see so many bands posting the same thing, and some of you will recognise these, some of you may have done these, and there's no judgment, but we are where we are. You know the thing I mean, where there's maybe like some rehearsal footage of the band with background track of maybe the actual rehearsal footage or some live footage, and it'll have a caption like, most people scroll after 2.3 seconds, give us 2.5 seconds and ... Or the algorithm doesn't want to push our music outside of X city, wherever you are. Prove us wrong, or let me know, or something like that. I see so many posts like that. And you know what I think? I think, good on you, you're trying. I think, fair enough, it may generate a lot of engagement, and I have no doubt that it does. I have no doubt that you get people posting, you may get some follows off the back of it, and that it is working for you. But what I want to ask is, what you're putting out there, is it meaningful? Is it building a real connection with your listeners and your potential listeners? Or is it just some gubbins to fill the algorithm and to potentially please the algorithm? Because I want to suggest to you, as a creative person, or as a creative kind of band, if you're producing something, if you're making something that you're sitting there and going, this is just feeding an algorithm, you're wasting your time. If you're doing something where I'm going, this is helping me creatively, it's helping me kind of explain my music, it's helping me show people what we're like, then that's different. And I think that's different as in a good way. And I think that's the kind of thing that's going to help someone potentially stick around to listen to your music and to really engage and to become a fan. So, I mean, honestly, why would you rather do what everyone else is doing when you can follow your own path, when you can do something unique to your music or to your kind of band's music? So here's some ideas for what you should do. There are any number of things that you can do. So this is not an exhaustive list at all. It's just some things that came to mind. But here is a list of things that you can think about and work out what you want to do. Ultimately, with social media, you want to find a band that you really appreciate what they're doing and look at what they're doing in terms of social media and work out how you can adapt that kind of thing for your music, for your band. So what should you do? Firstly, for example, if your personalities allow and you want to do this kind of thing, I know bands that don't, and that's fine, consider writing and posting funny sketches. Play into the personality types in the band, really emphasize it, make it kind of cartoony. I've seen some really good ones from some bands. There's a band in the UK called Reawaken, and some of their posts, especially around when they're gigging and promoting music, they're quite funny. All around the bassist, to be honest. He's the kind of butt of the joke, and that's kind of the point. It's really funny stuff, and I really enjoy their posts every time I see them. And I think about that. If someone saw your post on social media and it was like most people scroll after the X seconds, would that enthuse them, or would it be more enthusing to see the latest kind of sketch that you've done and then have everyone go, oh no, I really like these guys, I really like what they do, that kind of thing? Now, I know, you may think, well, that's, it's not about music. What's the point of that? But it's about showing what you are like as bands, or how you maybe want to be perceived as a band. That is really important. And if you can use the algorithm in that way, that's a creative output where you can do something, as I say, creative and different. But then you can also then lead people to music, especially if you make your sketch about your next release or about your next gig, whatever it may be. Secondly, if you're in a slightly more serious scenario, or you can do this as well, have you considered promoting your music by talking about it? Talk about what it means. talk about how you wrote it, talk about the recording experience. Were there any unusual or interesting ideas that came about in the process? That kind of thing, people who are fans of music really lap up. You know, if you think about your favourite band, and they release a documentary, let's say, a bit old school now, but they release a full documentary about their album, you will sit there and watch it because you love them and you love what they're doing and you love what they're doing creatively. That is the same thing for other people about your music. That you will have fans that will want to know why you wrote certain songs, how you wrote them, what the recording was like, that kind of thing. So give it to them. That kind of stuff is very creatively fulfilling, I think, because it is really just focusing on the music. And that is going to drive people to what you're doing. Thirdly, something like gig footage is always a good idea, especially when you're quite a lively, active band. It just gives people a real feel for what you're like. It allows them to see what you might be like to see live, especially around kind of, you know, promoting some gigs that you're doing. It's a really good idea. Film some stuff yourself. That's a great idea. Get some fan footage. If people have tagged you in it, then make sure you kind of put it on your wall and stuff like that on Instagram. It's a really cheap and quick source of social stuff, and it's really good. And I always kind of get drawn to live gig footage personally, so it's always a good idea, I think. My last idea for you, as I said, this is not like an exhaustive list. It's just some stuff that I've come up with in my head. Consider doing like an alternative live version of a track. For example, like, could you do a little video with an acoustic version of your song? Could you do a video where you're doing, I don't know, something weird and wonderful version of your song? I don't really do it anymore. I kind of wish I could do more. If you want some of this kind of stuff, hit me up. But I used to do kind of 8-bit, you know, like video game, kind of old video game music. I did some 8-bit covers of some tracks that I mixed, and they were so much fun to put together. If you had something like that, if you had the time and creativity to work out how to do that kind of stuff, then that is a free source of your promotion. You can put out an alternative version, put it on your social media, put, I don't know, some video game background to it, you know how it is. That could be really cool, and that's the kind of thing that could explode on the algorithm, which is, you know, a side benefit, to be honest. I think when you're thinking about your social media and how you approach it and how you use it and how you talk about yourself, you need to put your creative hat on and think, how are you going to do this? Because you, as a band, as a person, are creative. You are a creative person. Ultimately, if you had it your way, this would be your full-time job, to be a creative person musically. So put your thoughts towards creative kind of video, creative advertising, essentially, and work out how you can make that work for you. And that's got to be different for everyone. It has to be. Otherwise, everyone's going to do the same cookie cutter thing on social media, and it gets boring. So don't do it. Anyway, that is all my thoughts really for today. I better get this finished and edited so it can go up online. So thank you for listening to another episode of the Music Survival Guide. If you thought it was helpful, please do share it with any friends or bandmates to start a discussion. If you have a chance, please do write a review wherever you listen to podcasts. It helps others discover the podcast through the all-powerful and mystical algorithm. Finally, if you're thinking of recording or mixing them, please do drop me a message on the links in the podcast description below, and we can start to have a talk about it, and I will see you next time.